My winky was not working. And I was looking at it. It was like that scene in Betweeners where you're like, fucking work. You start slapping it and shit. And I was like, I need to figure out if this is working still or not. At that point, I felt something changing. I did NoFap for 3 months and it changed my perception of the world and women and various other things. So, Hassan and I, you know, you've had your fair share of feeding the geese in your lifetime, haven't you?
What do you mean by fair share? I mean, like I said before, I don't feed the geese.
Right now?
Right now, I don't. No.
But you did 3 weeks ago.
Well, not that's quite detailed. Not
okay. Well, a little while ago, not recently. But you haven't done it for a while,
so
haven't
somewhere
you?
in between, you know, January, August.
You haven't done it in a while, and you've started noticing some changes about yourself, haven't you? But first of all, can you tell me what it felt like? What emotions were going through you the last time you decided to feed the geese? You don't have to be in detail, but just tell me how it made you feel.
No. I'm saying in a theoretical situation. The last time I fed the geese, like, I just felt quite unhappy about myself. You know what I mean? I was like, what am I doing? I think I just had some extreme post-nut clarity.
Oh, okay.
At the point, I was like, wow, what am I doing with my life?
What am I doing with my life?
What am I doing? Just watching videos. So
Yeah.
I think after that, I just stopped. I don't know how. I think I just went cold turkey. I think that's the official definition. I just stopped for some reason.
Yeah.
And I just never really looked back.
Have you noticed a change in energy or tension in your body from not doing it for so long?
I mean, I did notice an increase in productivity.
Oh, really?
Because since, you know, I just stopped, I just realised, you know, I've got better things to do, pretty much. You know, I literally have better things to do. You know, I'm going to study, I'm going to, like, read some books, and actually work on myself, go to the gym. And that actually makes me tired, so I just, like, go to sleep early.
I like the video for Hassan going to the gym, guys, because we were trying to get him to do that a while ago, and he's actually started. Would you say it's with help from doing NoFap? Or it was just a decision anyway?
I think it was just a decision. Maybe my contributed to it. Like, it was a part of a chain of events, you know, for me to become a macho man. You know, like become, you know, the Arnold Schwarzenegger of 19-year-old teenage podcast boys.
Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna give my experience from doing NoFap. Basically, last year from January to April, I went on an 88-day abstinence from pornography, feeding the geese, which is what you can imagine that is, and I also went off social media for 2 months, so it was quite a big detox from everything. And just to give a bit of context, I started watching adult content when I was probably 10. That was the first time I watched it around
10?
maybe earlier. Yeah.
Okay.
I know it's so early, but you just come across it, especially in the internet age. You know, I just find it. So, you know, I've been fairly consistent with doing it for a long time, and then suddenly to cut it off for 3 months, it was big for me. And I want to give you a bit of a benefits timeline and a negatives timeline that came from this, and maybe you can give your opinions on it, and maybe your experience of what it was like being around me at this time. Because
that's true.
we didn't meet a lot, but you know how
honestly,
I talked
I've
and everything.
noticed, like, as no of you actually noticed quite a lot of improvements around you. Like, you actually became more confident. Like,
For sure. Would you say that there was a change in my energy when we spoke, when I was on that journey?
Energy in the sense that you were more enthusiastic.
Right.
Now you actually look like a person that actually enjoyed life.
Yeah, for sure. That's exactly what happened. So I started right at the beginning of January, and I'll be honest, the first month or so maybe from start of January to the start of February, I didn't really feel any difference.
Yeah. I
think a lot of the focus was on improving myself. I started running and, you know, just generally working out, and I did a lot of creative stuff at the time as well. I was focused on that a lot, and I didn't really think about it. And then I remember, well, actually, no, sorry, before going on from that, you know, there wasn't any negatives from that either. I didn't really feel any changes in energy. It was genuinely, just a month of going through the motions, just trying to pick myself back up. I also forgot to mention that I was coming off of a weird, like an upsetting talking stage that sort of broke my heart a little bit. So I was using it to self-improve. Anyway.
That makes sense. So you're saying that was like a trigger for you? You're like, oh wow.
That was, for sure, that was the catalyst. I needed a girl to break my heart for me to realise I need to work on myself.
That's quite interesting.
Yeah.
So what would you say, you know, heartbreak as a term is quite powerful, because heartbreak can actually make you do what you want in life.
It can make you do a lot of things. Basically, she was like, so I was like,
you didn't care about my feelings.
And then I just started self-improving. Definitely, that is a big catalyst for my experience anyway. And I remember vividly on the 35th day of NoFap, this was mid-February, maybe around that time, I came upstairs from having dinner and suddenly there was just this surge of energy that I didn't know what to do with. Bear in mind, this was like 7 p.m. Out of nowhere, it felt like my whole... I may be remembering it a bit differently because my experience was very positive, but at that point, I felt something change in me, you know.
Would you say you found enlightenment in that point?
Not enlightenment, no. But
you're like just meditating. You're like,
I suddenly had this consistent energy that stuck with me for the next 2 months.
You are one with the universe in that moment.
Why you worded it like this?
Well, I'm just saying that because you're saying you had this feeling like it's almost euphoric.
Yeah. Do you know what I did? I came upstairs after dinner and I was almost like... I'll tell you exactly what was going on.
Okay,
I came upstairs and my fucking eyes... I was sitting there and I was going... I was like that. I literally had so much energy and I didn't know what to do. I got on the floor, started doing push-ups and I was still like... Like, I was almost like I was a crack addict or something. I don't know if I can say that.
Should we just do push-ups right now?
I think we just might knock over the table if we try and get up.
But later. Like and subscribe.
Yeah,
hey.
like if you want to see us do push-ups. Anyway, so 35th day, suddenly I got this burst of energy and it pretty much stuck with me for the rest of my NoFap journey. Around this time, so start of February, mid-February, I started exploring my new points of view on females and relationships. And this was the first time in my life I respected myself. Someone's calling me at the moment. They're going to have to wait.
We're doing a podcast, very important stuff.
Yeah. Subscribe. I started to respect myself and my body a lot more in regards to women, insecurity, personal things, Suddenly insecurities just disappeared. And I stopped looking at girls as... I didn't necessarily look at girls purely as objects in the past because that's really dodgy and not the case. But I started to view them even more for what they can actually bring to me. I stopped thinking, I want to be with you because I want intimacy. It was more so, I want to be with you if you can bring something to the relationship as well. So I was being more conscious of what value people can bring to me, basically. I went to the toilet one day and I was thinking of insecurities and suddenly they just left and I was like, why am I worrying about this? That was the first time in my life that's ever happened to me. Okay.
So what would you say, for example, when you watch, this pornography and stuff like that, would you say that encourages insecurity in people?
Yeah, it definitely does. I don't think people realise, especially if you watch it fairly consistently, how much pornography affects your mind. So from personal experience, it definitely makes you more insecure subconsciously. But I think the main thing is that you'll think about it. You'll sort of shape your existence around it. The way you look at girls, it will always be in the context of
because
I watch porn and
you
this is what I want from a
you
relationship.
You see them in a different way.
Yeah, exactly.
You, in some sense of the word, you kind of, you don't really see them as human beings. You just see them as like objects.
Well, it definitely doesn't help, but I guess you are...
in a subconscious way. Now, obviously, you wouldn't do it yourself, but pornography kind of encourages that kind of behavior.
Influences your brain in a very negative way that leads to situations like that.
Exactly. That's why we don't like that.
All of February, I was incredibly confident. I also started practicing stoicism, which we can do a video on if you like the video. Because that's definitely something we're interested in. I became very stoic, calm, and comfortable in myself. All of February, I was like this. Then March, I went back to that girl, which I talked about in another video. She friend zoned me, and then I came back, and that's something that is another topic to go on. But I came back, and I was still on my NoFap journey, and at the same time, I was talking to her, and my insecurities were coming back out because I knew deep down she didn't want me, but I wanted her. So that was affecting the journey. And then, unfortunately, around the same time, I hit the NoFap wall. Do you know what that is?
What?
It's when you're going on your NoFap journey and you're trying to become a different type of human being that doesn't watch porn, your body has to sort of reset. And sometimes when you do that, your body shuts down in a way. Your motivation just disappears. You have no physical desire for anything. And
so what were you saying? So your body goes through like a battery reset of sorts.
Yeah, there's a long period of time, at least for me it was. There was a month straight starting from March to the end of March where I had no motivation. I'd have bursts, not no motivation, but I had bursts of it, but overall I felt depleted. I stopped running, I stopped working out as much outside.
And so in computer definitions would just say, you thinking the Geese and stuff like that. That's like the bugs in your system that you need to try and get rid of. So what you did, you kind of downloaded an antivirus system, which is NoFap. And that actually made everything better.
Yeah. That's exactly what it was, basically.
No, because you're saying you're going on your journey.
Yeah, like the whole video. Okay, forget about what I was saying. That's definitely going to annoy people. Subscribe. Basically, Jimmy Carr. On the day that I failed, my body was going through a reset. My bald eagle was not working. My winky was not working.
What?
And I was looking at it. It was like that scene in In-Betweeners where you're like, fucking work! You start slapping it and shit. And I was like, I need to figure out if this is working still or not. And it definitely, that's what happens when you hit a wall. You just lose your sexual desire. But you can come over that wall and then become better afterwards. But I never got to that point. So I was like, I need to test this. So I got up some content and I did it. And I felt incredibly disappointed in myself. And that's what I wanted to say, is that your mentality about relapses during NoFap can actually sometimes be more damaging than just fapping. If you beat yourself up every time you relapse, then you're going to be more miserable. And that's what happened to me for a couple months. Then from April to June, I was on and off.
So is it like a natural reaction to actually like relapse?
Yeah, of course, because it's in our innate desire to want to procreate, you know. So we want to do it. You know, that's how difficult it is to stop watching porn and that.
Yeah.
We got someone coming, so I'm going to have to wrap this up quickly.
Yeah, okay. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.